Hello. So today we're joined by Arno de Wever, EMEA Commercial and P&C Insurance Lead at Amazon Web Services. So Arno's a leader with 20 years experience and being skilled at driving digital transformation and also leveraging cloud technologies to propel innovation in the insurance sector. Arno's background also includes 8 years at Allianz as a technical director and various other roles in the London market. So safe to say a solid tenure, Arno, in the insurance space. So Arno, firstly, welcome. And maybe just an initial opening from you, kind of a background of AWS, and then we'll kind of jump into some questions.
Yeah, so thank you for having me, Danny. So AWS is Amazon Web Services, so is the cloud provider piece of Amazon. It's been around since 2006 and has grown quite a bit since its inception. What I'm here for is looking at it from an industry perspective. Mm-hmm. So around 10 years ago, AWS set up financial services industry as a first industry vertical, and that is where we are looking into the industries more closely and looking how AWS can play into those industries, both from a build perspective, so using the services that AWS offers, as well as through partners who are using the AWS services to create products for AWS customers.
Perfect. So, I mean, kind of then keeping on that thread, I mean, how's AWS actually directly supporting kind of the outcomes of the insurance industry? You've kind of highlighted that AWS probably had a very general approach, as kind of the hyperscalers do, but then kind of being much more focused on the needs of the insurance industry. So, how does that generally play out?
It depends a little bit on the maturity of the cloud strategy of a customer. So we tend to have first interactions around the pure infrastructure side. So that is moving away from mainframes onto cloud, lifting and shifting of applications. There's often a big cost conversation with that. But as customers start to understand the possibilities of cloud better, we're starting to see that there's a lot of innovation that is taking place. So where you may start with, for example, your actuarial modeling, which is a very power-hungry process, where you shift that to AWS to take advantage of being able to scale up and down. Mm-hmm. So rather than having your servers sitting idle for 29 days a month and one day being full out, being able to buy those services as and when you need them. And then starting to look at what can I do now that my data is much more available. So on one hand, we're seeing applications within the insurance space which are often bought, like policy administration systems. Mm-hmm. So Guidewire is an example of a policy administration system that runs on AWS. And we're starting to see that the data lakes that come out of all the data that comes out of policy administration systems, but also underwriting systems, claim systems, financial systems, is being accessible more often, and that allows for a greater customer experience once you start building that in. The days when you had a call center, you had to basically first identify yourself, and then someone typed in a policy number and says, "Hold on, my computer is being slow." I'm sure you'll recognize that.
Yeah, been there.
That is no longer needed with what the possibilities that you've got from a cloud perspective. One, because you've got your data availability and things like not just latency, but also the integration of solutions, so that a customer representative doesn't have to go into multiple systems just to get the information or confirm information, but also the ability to use AI to preempt questions and to find answers in a more intuitive way, as I'm sure from an open dialogue perspective you are more than aware of.
Yeah, yes. So you've actually interestingly touched upon data, and we'll definitely come back to that because obviously, as the title is AI insurance, I think as people are growingly, increasingly aware of, actually data is kind of a fundamental part of any AI strategy. But just kind of carrying on from some of the tools that you're talking about. I mean, what are some of the tools, the AI services that AWS offer the insurance sector?
Yeah. So first of all, AI has been used by Amazon for a long time. From the very beginning, Amazon has been suggesting, saying customers who bought this also bought that. That was a very early form of AI. Obviously, we've seen large more uptake and a big flight within artificial intelligence and now in generative AI. The machine learning aspect has been catered for a long time with our SageMaker tools, which allows you to create your own machine learning models and to do your analytics. Over the last few years, we've seen the introduction of Amazon Bedrock, which is a service towards generative AI, which allows you to API into whatever large language model you prefer. You may know that Amazon invests within Anthropic, and their Claude models are highly rated. We've had our reInvent event this month, actually, where we announced the latest Amazon models, large language models called Nova, which offer performance for an increased price efficiency. So there's a lot that you can do from an AWS perspective in the AI and the generative AI space, and we're seeing an increased adoption of that within the insurance space as well.
So you've got the building blocks as kind of Amazon Web Services have become kind of famous for, that kind of support the insurance market, and you kind of mentioned some of the services and AI services that you provide. How are they translating into the journeys and the use case needs of the insurance market?
We tend to work backwards from the customer, so looking at what are the actual needs that a customer has, and then looking at what solutions can be provided to meet those needs, and then we overlay that into the services that we provide. AWS provides the tools and the services, and not the end product. So we don't build solutions. Our ProServe offering is an exception to that. We don't create solutions that we then maintain for our customers. We provide the services, and we allow our partners to help our customers to build solutions using that, or our customers to do that themselves. But what we see is an increased use of AI. A lot is within the customer experience area, where we're using AI to allow for personalization of services, or making data more accessible. The other piece is a lot of automation of tasks, which was difficult to do before AI and before generative AI. If I look within insurance, I've got a history within the London market. So what you see there is that London market submissions have been very complex. A broker will send an insurer a submission which consists of a Word document, a PDF, a spreadsheet with a schedule of values, another spreadsheet with a loss history, and they look different every single time. So that's something that historically has been very difficult to automate. And what we're seeing is that now with generative AI, and as the LLM models are getting better, you can actually get structured data out of that. You can prompt an LLM to basically say who is the insured, what's the inception date, what are the risks that are associated with this submission, what does the loss history look like, and you can actually get quite acceptable information of that. We're currently looking very much at human in the loop, so still for a review, but the quality of the information you get out is increasing, and of course the speed and the cost is increasing. Whereas a lot of insurers are using business process outsourcing to be able to handle that volume of work, which may have an SLA of 48 hours. You can do that with generative AI within a couple of minutes. So there's a lot that you can do now, which was difficult to do even 3 years ago.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's good you kind of said that the human in the loop, because obviously within regulated markets, there's call it what it is, almost the fear of if I rely on AI too heavily, actually, what does that mean for me as an organisation for something as simple as liabilities? But if you can almost take the power of what the AWS services can do to speed up that process and then use people just to be that final eyes on validation, you're getting the speed, the benefits, and then almost the human level of safety, I suppose, that they may want in the early days of using those services.
Yeah. And we're seeing that hallucinations is something that is being increasingly addressed. We are able to minimize the hallucinations via a number of processes. But the key thing about human in the loop is that what you can do with a large language model is not just ask it who is the insured, but also say, I think the insured is XYZ because, and then it can actually show you where in the document it says that. And it can put a line in saying, there's a field called insured within the document, so I'm pretty sure this is the insured, or I have deduced it from this or that information. And of course, you can augment your LLM by integrating it with third-party sources. So if you want to look up a name and look at ownership structures, which is something that you regularly have to do from a commercial insurance perspective, you're able to integrate that as well, and that increases the confidence and allows the person who is reviewing that also to be able to focus on those items where the confidence is lowest. And you do see that the trust in what an LLM is providing increases by doing that.
Mm-hmm. Good. And I suppose just kind of, you mentioned previously that obviously what AWS is doing is providing, again, using the examples of the building blocks, and then there's kind of the use of partners to do those kind of more journey solution focused outcomes that your customers are providing. How far is kind of yourselves and AWS engaged with customers in helping them understand the possibilities for AI and the possibilities for the productivity enhancements that they can have within their organization?
Oh, very much so. We're in constant contact with our customers, and I mentioned working backwards a moment ago. I'll do so again. Uh, we encourage our customers to identify where we can help them become or reaching their goals, because the goals may be different for different customers or even within a customer. So we regularly run workshops where we identify the need of the customer, and then together we look at how can we best meet that need. And if that solution is something that is related to AI, then obviously we go and explore that further. But we aren't looking at everything being a nail because AI is a good hammer. We want to make sure that whatever solution is needed is the appropriate one, and that isn't always AI.
Yeah, exactly. I think actually it's about the outcome and the best way of being able to deliver that. I mean, even us as an organisation, AI plays a huge amount of to what we do, but actually sometimes there's not a need, and if that need isn't required in order to build the best solution, then it should be the solution that's required rather than your hammer and a nail analogy.
But
Just
one
kind
thing
of.
one thing I will add to that is we work with a large number of customers worldwide in various industries. So that means we have great expertise in what good looks like. And we can take learnings between industries, and we can take learnings between customers. That doesn't mean we copy what one customer did for another. We respect the customer's confidentiality, but the patterns that we see, we can teach to our customers. What we see right now, for example, is that everyone is talking AI, but AI requires you to have a data strategy and to have executed that data strategy to a sufficient level to know that you have the right data in the right quality, in the right availability. And if you don't have that, if you feed incorrect data into an AI model, you're going to get an incorrect answer.
Exactly. So actually, that's something I wanted to allude back to based on what you were mentioning before. So within the insurance space, kind of you and I both know the importance of the quality of the data, the integrity of the data, but also a data strategy as you framed it. What would be your response to maybe kind of the wider general insurance market understanding on the importance of data to an AI strategy? Is it something that they're all considering, or actually do they tend to move or navigate or jump towards AI and then almost regress to then mature a data strategy? What's kind of your perspective there?
What I'm seeing is that last year a lot of AI projects were started coming out of special budgets. And that was proving the concept. Basically, AI is something that is novel. What can we do with it? So there's a lot of small scale projects that were started, and a lot of those didn't actually reach production. So what we're seeing now is that AI has matured in that respect, and you see that reflected in the way that insurance companies are approaching that. AI now is embedded within the existing budget and the existing needs of customers, and it becomes a component of a solution. What that means is that you have to be much more certain of the outcomes that you can achieve using AI, and have that pathway to production ready. And what we do see is when I refer to a data strategy, a data strategy itself, your typical insurer has multiple policy administration systems, multiple claim systems, multiple underwriting systems, pricing engines, lots of spreadsheets here and there. If you're going to base your data strategy on being able to harmonize all of that before you can do anything, you're not going to go anywhere. So the adage is you need to start small, make sure that you have everything that you need in order to get the outcome that you need, and then move fast. And what you tend to see is that the outcome then drives the enthusiasm to go and look at a second item, and that enthusiasm to look at a third item. And the learnings that you've got from doing those small things will help you in scaling out your AI capabilities. And the data strategy, the execution of that sort of goes hand in hand with what you can do from an AI perspective.
Good. So actually, you've touched upon a few learnings there. The importance of data and a data strategy. I quite like the start small, learn as you go, and then kind of rapidly scale from there. Are there any kind of other learnings that you've picked up on through kind of working with insurance organisations, and really from the perspective of you being able to share so that other insurance organisations could benefit from your learnings?
I tend to see that there's a lot happening within insurers, and there tends to be a lot of different initiatives happening at the same time. And what I think is important is to have that oversight that allows you to connect the dots and being able to leverage different initiatives together to create an outcome without slowing down each of those initiatives. And I quite often have discussions with various parts of an organization, and you find out from an underwriter that they don't know they have a data lake, for example, and the innovation that you need in order to progress as an organization comes from various places. AI is often seen as something that stems from technology, but the application of AI comes from business. An underwriter will know how to automate some of their underwriting processes. A claims handler will know where the ability is to automate the claims process or to improve, say, the fraud process. Finance will know where the possibilities are to do automation, but also where the pitfalls are. You mentioned that insurance is a regulated industry. You cannot have hallucination within your finances, for example. I know that's obvious, but I'm still saying it.
Needs to be said, yes.
You need to have that understanding of how you can use AI to find those opportunities to innovate. Over the last 20 years, IT has gone from being stuck in the basement of the building to being a driver for an organization. If you look at a personal lines insurer, without IT, there wouldn't be anywhere, because any self-respecting insurer uses digital distribution channels as part of their business. So that also applies to AI. An underwriter doesn't have to know how AI works, but they do need to know how they can use it to create an outcome.
Yeah, and it also, I think, kind of going back to what you were saying a couple of moments ago, I think actually it's fine that there can be multiple initiatives within a business, but you do kind of need that top table strategy of, okay, well, if we're looking at delivering new outcomes or improving outcomes with AI, what are the company goals? What are the measures? And that strategy can then filter down and actually drive some of those initiatives. But you can then be sure that those initiatives are working to a common goal rather than potentially fighting over resource or even conflicting with the types of outcomes that they're looking at delivering.
Exactly.
Good. Okay. So been really helpful, really useful, and kind of even a couple of learnings on my side. But I mean, Arno, maybe any kind of parting words or statements you want to kind of give the audience?
Of course, look at AWS for your cloud journeys, and we understand the insurance industry, and we have the tools and the partners to be able to help you in executing that.
Sound words. Well, Arno, yeah, generally, thank you for your time. I'm sure everyone will benefit from what's been said. Some really good sound bites around kind of strategy, how to approach it, and kind of that data strategy being a key part of it. So yeah, genuinely, thank you for your time, and really good to have you on the series.
No, thank you, Danny.